Mrs. Deeming.
Thank you. This is an absolutely shocking issue. The government's own website has advice for helping people that you know who have been victims of violent crime. It talks about the impact on those victims, which make it sound like they are the ones in lockdown. They have nightmares. They struggle to go out, even if they are allowed to go out to exercise for more than an hour a day. Sometimes they can't do it. It's the kind of thing that you really struggle to recover from ever. And then you are re-traumatised throughout the whole process. The assault, the investigation, whether or not you get a conviction, and then to find out in an email, a cold email, that the person who assaulted you or who murdered your sister is getting out so early. It's not justice, it's not loving, it's not kind, it's barely humane. And the government has also acknowledged that these EMDs have caused great distress for victims in this state, and still no proper action has been taken. You brought up the federal issue. Well, the federals in 2021 passed legislation to remove EMD eligibility for federal prisoners in Victorian prisons. This was because federal prisoners were getting early release if they were in Victoria during COVID, and here are just some of the examples. A terrorism-related offender was granted 342 EMDs on remand and then released within hours of his sentencing. The AFP stated that he was a risk to community safety and there was not time to put a control order in place immediately. 1,000 EMDs were granted to 5 offenders serving sentences for attempting, preparing and engaging in terrorism acts. More than 300 EMDs to a child sex offender who was considered high risk, had an extensive criminal history and a history of breaching community-based orders. More than 160 EMDs granted to a drug trafficker, despite the fact that the court considered the onerous COVID imprisonment conditions when sentencing already. Both the then coalition government and the Labor opposition supported these changes. They took action straight away, unlike the Victorian government. And while some people raised concerns about the retrospectivity of these changes, which have also now been raised in chambers here, the now Attorney-General Mark Dreyfus QC said, "We do not think those concerns outweigh the clear advantages associated with ensuring greater certainty and consistency when it comes to the length of federal sentences and the interests of community safety." Thank you.